And even when you conceptualize something, it doesn't always have to be yung pinakabago or cutting edge. Kasi some people have that perception na if I'm gonna put up a business, kailangan yung wala pa sa market. Kailangan yung ako yung first, no? So it works for some, I think. But in our case, kasi what we did is established product na yun yung buffalo wings. Like, marami ng buffalo wings ng time na yun eh. We were one of the first, pero may mga nauna sa amin. But that didn't stop us kasi we found a way to do it better.
What's up mga ka-Investa? Welcome back to the Investa Learn Business Talk. This is episode 12. I'm Renzo and I'm your host for this show. And my job here is to deconstruct, get inspiration, and learn from Filipino entrepreneurs, Filipino business people. So today our special guest is Eduardo Firmalo. So he is the president and co-founder of Frankies New York Buffalo Wings. So of course Frankies is a food chain in the Philippines with right now they have 10 branches in Luzon. In this episode we're going to be talking about Frankies, of course, and how they started their journey and how they started the business. So we're going to be going into their marketing strategies and their tactics and how they made their branding really really strong to make this company really successful. And aside from that, maraming tips and advice na makukuha if you want to start your own business, if you want to become an entrepreneur during this time. So, without further ado, let's move on to the episode. Sir Eduardo, welcome to the show. Welcome to Invest to Learn Business Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here and spending the time. And of course, it's very interesting and I'm very excited to have this conversation with you, especially since ngayon we are in a pandemic and aside from maraming nawawalan ng businesses, marami ring nagsa-start ng business ngayon. And especially when you look in social media, makakita kayo ng maraming tao nagsa-start ng food businesses nila. So I'm assuming a lot of people would be very interested in asking tips and tricks from you. Of course, you are from a very successful company, successful brand, which is Frankies. So before we go into the nitty-gritty, before we go into the tips, I'd like to always start with the origin of the company. So Ed, can you try to paint us a picture? How did Frankies start and what was the purpose behind starting a company like this?
Actually, we started 2012, no, mga around September. Ako kasi ever since, I've really been an avid Buffalo Wings fan, no? So one of my friends from college introduced me to it, and ever since, I was really hooked. Around that same year, me and my two friends from high school, si Kevin and si Kevin, okay, so they're both named Kevin actually. But the other one, his nickname is Bin, no?
Mm-hmm.
So we put up a small business. We put it in Eastwood City muna. Ano lang siya eh, parang food hall type lang siya. It was called the Chicken Factory. So we were serving different kinds of chicken noong time na yon. We had Hainanese, we had Taiwanese chicken, then we had buffalo wings also. So we noticed na yung buffalo wings namin yung bestseller talaga. No? So we were struggling at that time. No, the sales was up and down when we started that. So kami from time to time, downtime namin kumakain kami sa mga buffalo wings places. No, kasi nga we really like it. And we noticed a few things in common. No, parang the servings were quite small and medyo yung price a bit hefty. And yung ambience kasi niya, I don't want to say fast food, but it's not really conducive to hanging out. So after mo kumain, parang alis ka na, no? So parang we thought to ourselves, yung buffalo natin yung bestseller, and obviously there's a demand for it, no? But we saw na parang it could be done better. So nung time na yun kasi, like I said, very very simple lang yung mga interiors ng mga wings places eh. But now, nag-evolve na lahat eh, actually. So, nung time na yun, sabi namin, let's come up with something na mas sulit, mas value for money. So, we had wings that were bigger than the usual, and we tapped one of our friends, the interior designer, to help us out. So we were looking for the perfect spot, and we would hang out in this place called City Golf. So I'm sure familiar ka with City Golf. Yeah.
Yes, in Ortigas.
So we would hang out there, and sabi namin, this is the perfect spot for our first branch. So we called up the admin office. Ginugol ko lang yung admin office actually. So we called up the admin office. And we found out na paalis na si Angel's Pizza that formerly occupied that spot. And so we decided to pitch our concept. So we pitched our concept. And at the time, ang kasabay namin sa competition namin for the spot was a medyo reputable chicken brand. So our hopes were medyo managed namin kasi sabi namin baka malaking chance piliin ng landlord tong mas reputable brand. No? Luckily, after a month, akala namin wala na eh. Wala kaming call back. The secretary called us and asked for a meeting, and it was awarded to us. No? So we began developing pa the other flavors. Yung mom ni Kevin, no, isang partner ko, she loves to cook. So she helped us with some of the recipes, some of the dips, even actually the cheesecake. That's her recipe. So she helped us out. Nag-try and error kami dun sa house nila. That day, we finished roughly 3 to 4 kilos of chicken wings. And tatlo lang kami nun, and the mom of Kevin. And their maid who helped us do it. So, talagang tedious nun kasi the next day, pawis kami, we were playing basketball. Parang puro manok ata yung pinapawis namin. No? So, but yeah, so we started it to City Golf. We opened September 2012, and yung mga early feedbacks. And from there, we developed it lang. And surprisingly, unti-unti, ang ganda nung naging reception ng mga tao. So, by 2014, we were able to open na our second branch. No? So, surprisingly also that the following year, 2015, lumabas kami sa spot.ph as the number one wings place. So parang it really put us on the map. No, it really helped us. So from there, it grew lang, and talagang we took it slowly, but we made sure to expand to places that we felt was our market. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. So I mentioned, I heard a lot of things there, but before I go into more questions, bakit Frankies? I mean, you're with two Kevins, right? So, saan ang galing yung name na Frankies naman?
So when we were brainstorming the name, no? Yeah, sorry hindi ko na mention yan.
Okay lang.
My name is Eduardo, my whole name. So sabi namin kung Eduardo naman parang burrito yung binebenta. So pag sila Kevin naman para naman burger or something, di ba? So we researched the background of buffalo wings, and we saw na the first ever buffalo wings was created by this husband and wife tandem. So located in Buffalo, New York yun. So they were an Italian-American couple. And pangalan ng bar, parang resto bar nila was Frank and Teresa's Anchor Bar. So yung pangalan ng guy, Actually, yung wife talaga yung pinakagumawa ng recipe. Pero sabi namin, if we named it as a tribute to the wife, Teresa, parang baka mahirap, baka isipin parang pastry or what, kasi usually ganun, di ba? So sabi namin, let's go with Frankies. But at the same time, very Italian-American sounding. It feels more authentic. That's how we decided to go with that name, na Frankies. Because we had to make sure that people knew what we were selling. So Frankies, New York Buffalo Wings. Yeah.
All right. So dun siya nanggaling. So basically, Frankies is so nag-start kayo with a different business before Frankies na you also serve chicken, and you've been trying other wings from different places pero you wanted to improve it. And ayun, Frankies now is the staple when it comes to the chicken wings. All right, solid. So let's talk about the first branch na na-mention mo earlier. You said na it was the perfect place to start your first branch, which was in City Golf in Ortigas. So bakit,
Mhm.
ano yung nakita nyo dun sa place na yun? What made you consider starting your first ever branch there?
Well, kasi what we had in mind initially was buffalo wings kasi is like a hangout food eh. No,
Mhm.
so something like pizza
Mhm.
na you can hang out in a group and eat it. At the same time, perfect din siya with beer. So we felt na City Golf was a place kasi na open from lunch up until early
Mm.
morning pwede. And there were many residential areas around the area, as well as the Ortigas business district. So we felt it was the perfect spot kasi maliban sa residential, capture mo din yung employees who work in the area. So we felt na ma-maximize namin yung hours and at the same time, yun nga, hangout vibe yung gusto namin eh. So we made it medyo New York feel talaga, bricks, industrial, and actually nung nag-start yan, talagang we were only 25 when we started it. So nilagyan pa namin ng beer pong table yan. And so siguro every few nights you would play there, no? But now it's a different story. Nung nag-evolve na yung business, nung medyo nakilala na siya, the beer pong area was taking up too much space. And we would have, parang customers were medyo waiting na. So parang ultimately we decided we had to just ditch that part and provide more seating for customers, no? So yeah, we really felt it was the perfect spot kasi good combination of residential, of CBD, tapos may parking ka pa. So parking is very, very important if you're not inside a mall. So that's almost a determinant if you're gonna succeed or not. People have a place to park, lalo na if yung market mo is yung mga people who have their own vehicles. So yeah, we really felt it was the safest spot for us for a first branch.
Alright. So more on maganda yung ambience niya, and of course if you want to present chicken wings in a good way, kailangan swak siya
Yeah,
dun sa personality nung place, no? Alright. So you've been doing this business with your friends, and they are your high
yeah.
school or college?
High school, high school.
Oh,
Yeah,
so high school pa lang friends na kayo. And
yeah.
I've been able to talk to Joe Mag. He's the co-founder of Potato Corner. And
Mm.
like you, of course, food business din siya. Pero at the same time, he started business with friends. And he told
Mm,
me
okay.
na when they did business with his friends, medyo nagkakaroon ng conflict or medyo nagiging
Mm-hmm.
personalan na. So medyo naging difficult yung relationship
Mm-hmm.
nila as friends. So sa inyo
Okay.
ba, was it the same thing or may na-experience din ba kayong problems because you guys are
Uh,
tropa?
well, I think what's most important is when you start it, very clear yung lines, very clear kung ano yung roles ng each person. So, in our particular case, kasi they have their other businesses eh, sila Kevin, no? So, ako
Mhm.
yung primarily running the company talaga. So, in that case, medyo hindi ganun ka-difficult for us. Kasi pag may major decision, I consult them. But beyond that, sa day-to-day kasi, I mostly handle that part. And the trust is there among us siguro. So that makes it a lot easier for us. So very clear kasi yung line sa amin eh. I think doon nagkaka-problem kung sa start, lahat kayo sobrang hands-on or lahat kayo wants things done his way or that. So kami there's a trust factor that they trust me to run the company. And at the same time, I also know when I need to ask for their help. So, syempre, it happens. No? There are times talaga that we have disagreements. That's inevitable. But what's most important is the line is drawn. And as long as that's there na, okay, ito yung sa'yo, and this is up to what decisions you can make and where the entire board has to be involved. So I think yun yung pinaka-important. Open communication lang. That's the most important aspect. So yeah, we've had our ups and downs, but for the most part, we've always managed to make it work for the past 8 years. Yeah.
And until now, of course, you guys are good friends pa rin.
Yeah, but medyo less the drinking part na and the and the going out part kasi we were all married with two
Mm,
kids each. So a far cry from the early days of Frankies. But yeah, from time to time may occasional naman. Yeah,
alright.
hangouts. Yeah.
Alright. So something I noticed and something that I appreciate about Frankies is sobrang galing nyo mag-market ng sarili nyo. And when I first knew about Frankies, and na-try ko siya first dun sa BGC branch nyo. So when I heard about Frankies, it was a hype. So parang lahat ng tao pinag-usapan, oh, you have to try these wings. So of course,
Mhm.
curious ka, you wanna try the wings that everyone is talking about. So of course, ngayon medyo matagal, ilang years na rin kayo in business. How did you make your branding super solid na sobrang viral nung pag spread nung news about Frankies?
Actually, yung logo niyan, when I first made it, so actually I'm a comm arts graduate. Communication arts ako eh. So medyo forte ko talaga yung communications and marketing, no. So when we first made the logo, ang tagal namin ginawa nun. Ang daming versions namin ginawa and
Mm.
talagang it took a while before we finally agreed upon it. First sabi namin, red is a good color. It's appetizing, strong. At the same time, yun nga, agaw pansin din siya. So, the logo was the first step. And very meticulous talaga kami when it comes to our collaterals, our material. And talagang even down to our employees, to our team, lahat sila nahawa na rin sila eh. As in, for example, if kuwari yung operations manager namin, yung area manager namin, nag-store visit siya, tapos makita niya may isang store na nag-print lang ng sign sa, sa bond paper and nilagay parang automatic na yan eh. Kukontakin na yung marketing, request na
Mm.
ng collateral, and may guidelines kami for that. So you have to have very strict guidelines like a brand playbook or a brand concept that your whole company knows. So each branch meron silang copy nun. Yung brand playbook namin, what emotions we want people to feel when they buy or when they interact with us Frankies, what the ambience is supposed to feel like, even down to the playlist. Sobra kaming meticulous down to the little details. Even in social media, yun yung number one marketing tool talaga namin, social media. And we're very proud na we've never used ads for Frankies.
So organic.
Um, so organic siya. And nung una, we wanted to, pero parang we realized we wanted to see authentic, organic likes talaga. Kasi you can blow up the likes all you want eh, by doing ads and other things. Pero at the end of the day, yung engagement ba mataas? Are these people authentic fans? No? So we try to avoid doing ads muna. Now is a different story. We might have to adjust a bit. Siyempre may pandemic. No? But initially talaga, very strict kami with all the brand colors and even down to the uniforms ng mga tao, the menu. So we understand na dapat kung Frankies yan, evident. Dapat alam ng tao talaga na, Frankies. Makita niya yung tao, yung uniform ng tao namin, makita niya any collateral. It always has to feel like it's Frankies. Even down to takeout. Delivery takeout, we have messages in the paper bags. And we have labels. So even if you take it out or for delivery siya, hindi mawawala yung feel na it's from Frankies. So yeah, initially it was mostly just us doing the marketing portion, but later on we got some people to come in and help us out. Even we focus also on our internal marketing. So even yung marketing ng HR namin, we call our HR TMD. So TMD is Talent Management and Development. So we parang sabi namin HR has such a very police connotation. So parang di ba pag sinabing tawag ka ng HR, di ba? Parang kakabahan ka, parang feeling mo may gagawin sa'yo or sanction ka, no? So we rebranded that, called them TMD. And sila, may internal branding din kami. even when we have hiring collaterals, kailangan tatak Frankies pa rin yan. It has to be the same thing kasi your employees will also be your brand ambassadors. Eh. So yeah, it's really just attention to detail when it comes to marketing. Yeah.
So you have a very, very strict and consistent branding policy. And were you always like this? Simula pa lang ba may very strict na kayo when it comes to branding, or mas lenient pa ba kayo nung nagsisimula kayo?
Kasi nung nagsimula kami, even kami, we were still trying to figure it out completely eh. No? May mga siguro may mga konting miss din kami no early days. Pero as we went along, we saw what worked and we saw what people responded to, and we also siguro realized more of who we really are as a brand and as a company. So it really helped us when we created our brand Playbook. So yun. Siguro somewhere around the middle, hindi naman the middle, like siguro after our first year of operations, dun talaga mas na-solidify namin yung identity na gusto namin. And we saw that what we wanted for ourselves, a wing space we could hang out in, value for money, it's the same thing that people wanted. So luckily for us na hindi kami yung kami lang pala may gusto, na even the market, yun yung hinahanap nila. Yeah.
Alright. Wow. Okay. So, na-mention mo rin kanina na you started 2012, yung first branch nyo sa Ortigas, and then your next branch noong 2014. So, what did it take to start another branch? So, ano yung mga metrics na or mga factors, deciding factors na nakita nyo na, okay, I think this is doing good. We should start another branch in another area.
Actually, to be honest, we were relatively young that time, no? So 2014, I was around 26, 27. Yung capital namin was very limited when we started. So a lot of things we were doing ourselves and I was doing myself. Believe it or not, yung deliveries namin sa mga stores sa City Golf before, niloload ko lang sa pickup ko. And there's a portion sa house namin na in-convert ko into a stock room ng time na yun. And that's where I would have the stocks delivered. Kasi yung mga trucks ng suppliers doon nagde-deliver. No? And it was just me carrying the stocks, sacks of flour, sacks of bigas and everything. We would deliver it dun sa City Golf branch. So I was scared, to be honest, to branch out. Sabi ko parang ma-manage ko ba siya well enough to manage 2 stores na tapos malaki na yung volume. That's where the partners also come in. They were very helpful kasi Mega Mall offered us. And it wasn't really our style kasi food hall yung in-offer ni Mega Mall. So I'm sure you've seen the Mega Mall branch if pupunta ka ng Mega Mall. It's a small store. So, sabi namin, mag-work ba yung Frankies sa over-the-counter format? Kasi kasama sa marketing namin yung ambience eh. So, again, we got the help of our designer friend who also designed the Mega Mall branch. And sabi namin, Mega Mall has insane foot traffic. It's not every day that SM Mega Mall is gonna offer you a spot. A company like us na 1 branch pa lang. So ultimately, my partners pinep-talk nila ako and sabi ko, sige, let's go for it, let's do it. And from there, we put up the branch and we made sure na kahit over-the-counter siya, hindi mawawala yung experience. And we told our people, we have to make sure na even if over-the-counter to, yung 2-3 minutes naka-interact mo yung customer taking their order, you have to make it count. You have to make it feel like they're still in City Golf. Yung warmth, yung pagiging welcoming and maasikaso, dapat di mawawala. So luckily for us, it really worked out. Mega Mall was a good gamble for us, and from there, it really helped us expand our business. Yeah.
And right now you have.
Sometimes you have to take. Sometimes you have to take the leap of faith lang. Kasi scary talaga the first time you're doing something eh. lalo na nung minute namin yung management, yung pre-construction requirements nila ganun kakapal. So, pagdating yung taga-SM, tinambak niya yung sobrang taas na pile of paper. Sobra akong nanghina. Parang gusto ko sumuka kasi sabi ko, oh my God, sobrang tedious pala mag-open with a big company like SM. No? But ano lang, talagang leap of faith lang and support, apart from my partners. I had our operations manager who was a supervisor back then, si Lane. She really helped us fix up the new branch, and she's with us till now. So she's now handling the 10 branches that we have. So it's really having good people around you and a strong support system that siguro will help you take that leap of faith. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So now from 1 to 2 and then ngayon you have 10 branches. How do you manage your time given you have to manage all of these?
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. It's a very good question. Siguro it's a matter of delegating lang. Kasi when the business is growing, the number of things that you have to do, ang lawak from accounting to the HR duties, payroll, to operations, purchasing, our supply chain, even the facilities maintenance. Sobrang lawak ng scope eh. So ultimately, you have to realize that you need help. So we had the professionals come in. Nung nakita namin na medyo kinakaya naman na nung cash flow namin, we started getting people who came from other companies who had more experience sa amin pagdating sa food industry. No? So we trusted them, and we got the right people who were willing to gamble in a small company like ours. Kasi yung mga department heads namin ngayon, a lot of them, they came from fairly reputable companies. No? So for them to go on board with us, a company with say 2 or 3 branches kung time na yun, 4 branches, medyo gamble din for them, but they took it and they were able to, it was a good relationship between us owners and them na that really helped grow the business eh. Yeah, so I think it's a matter of delegating and trusting people who are the best, the best, sorry, or people who know these things, na tao na may specialized knowledge. Kasi even if owner ka, you have to accept that you don't know everything. So you need to have people come in na may specialized knowledge. And that really helped us na, okay, ikaw focus ka sa finance side, focus ka sa HR side, sa recruitment, sa training, and sa operations, ikaw naman sa facilities maintenance. So it really helped us manage siguro the business better. And we had people helping us out. In terms of managing my own time, medyo madugo pa rin eh. Kasi at the end of the day, approval sa amin, owners pa rin, sa akin pa rin. So, lalo na family man na ako ngayon, you really have to be strict about your work-life balance. No? During the early days, and probably a lot of young entrepreneurs, maybe yourself as well, kaya nyo yung kaya pa yung 16 hours a day mag-work, 12, 16 hours. So in the early days, I would do paperwork hanggang mga 11 p.m. I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning, start preparing the delivery receipts na, and everything I needed to do. So talagang for the first 2 years, ganun, 12 to 16 hours. No? When I got married, syempre I had to make adjustments kasi I had a family na, and di na pwede yung ganun eh, buhay binata yun eh, yung ganun, yung ganun 12, 16 hours. So when I had the kid na, I told myself, kailangan dinner time, nakauwi na ako. I'll have dinner with my family, and I'll help put my kid to sleep. No? So ano pa rin, medyo long hours pa rin, no? Maybe 9, 10 hours, but it's more manageable now kasi you have to learn to prioritize na I have a personal life as well. And since afford naman na, you need to trust the people that you hired to do what they're good at. And that way, that's how you can manage the time and how you can expand the business. Kasi marami na kayo, you have a core team who's helping you out there. So I think that's the number one thing that you have to remember. As soon as you can afford it, um, try to find professionals who specialize in what you're doing to help you out as well. Kasi if you keep trying to do it yourself for the longest time, then the business will only go as far as you can take it. And the thing is, you're human, eh? You will burn out if you do everything yourself. So yeah, I think that's how we manage our time by delegating to the people who are good at what they do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So from waking up at 4 a.m., what does your routine look like now?
Now, I had to change my routine up a bit because my kids wake up early. They wake up at 5 to 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
No? So even if I wake up at 4:30 or 5, I'll only have 15 to 30 minutes to work. Then, ano na yan, may manggugulo na sa'yo. No? So I've had to change it up a bit. Now, sa gabi ako bumabawi.
Mm.
So usually, pag tulog na sila, talagang I work during the day also. I isolate myself, lalo na kung since work from home, no? But at home, yung alone time mo kasi, yung downtime mo ng evening, that time wala nang masyadong nagte-text, nag-Viber, tumatawag. So you get to focus on the stuff that you really wanna do. Yung mga long-term projects or looking at the data on how you can improve the business, things that I really enjoy doing, doon ko gagawin. Before early morning ko gagawin, so I switch it up a bit. Before early morning and evening, ngayon, mostly in the evening na. Yeah. So I limit most of my sleep, to be honest, is probably 5 to 6 hours.
Grabe.
Swerte na siguro yung maka 7 hours. So, ako, kaya ko naman. That's really how I function. No? It's different for everybody. My wife needs a full 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours. So, it's different for everybody. But luckily for me, I can function on 5, 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, wow. Grabe yung tulog mo. I can't do that. I need 8 hours, 7 hours of sleep. So I guess
Although
it's
may study naman, I think may study na as you get older, lumiliit daw yung sleep requirement. So I'm not sure
oh,
how true that is. But that's what I've read. Yeah.
oh okay. Sige. All right. So of
How
course
how old how old are you na ba?
I'm 23. 23.
Oh, okay. So baka kailangan pa yung 8 hours.
Ah, after a few
Yeah,
years
okay.
siguro babawasan ko.
Okay.
So, of course, you mentioned we are in a different time. We are in a health pandemic, no? So, it might be different how people do business now and how people
Hmm.
start their businesses now as compared to you. Of course, you started a physical branch noong 2012. If you started Frankies now with the same people, same co-founders, what would you do differently?
Now. Okay. Siguro to be honest, less premium on the ambience and the dining experience. Probably, we would make the kitchen bigger for the initial branch kung bagong start kami. Kasi we'll need to cater to a lot of deliveries, takeouts. So you need to have a kitchen that's packed, that works efficiently to produce those orders. So siguro yun yung gagawin namin differently. And as early as first days and months namin, we would put up a website na, an ordering website. Kasi labanan mo is online because a lot of people are still scared to go out eh. But at the same time, I'm not sure how we would have been discovered by people kung online lang, no? But siguro yung challenge sa amin, probably aggressive online marketing would have to do it, no? But I have to admit, probably much more difficult for us to start up ng 2020 na may pandemic as compared to nung 2012, no? So we're lucky na when this happened, medyo na-build na namin yung brand name, na-build na namin yung trust ng mga tao sa amin. So it's a good, parang may leverage na kami as opposed to starting out during this time. So it would have been very challenging. Probably a lot of focus on online, having a bigger kitchen, and then siguro having an online presence right away. So we didn't have our official website until our third year. Yeah, roughly, or no, sorry, second year. Until our second year. But siguro kung now ka magsa-start, kailangan talaga pulido yung online system mo eh. Yeah.
Alright. So, right now, at least may head start na kayo, kumbaga. Kasi
Yeah.
very, very well known na si Frankies. Pero aside from that, what are you doing now to adjust na rin to the pandemic?
Now, so actually, even before the ECQ, medyo malakas na kami sa deliveries, no?
Mm.
Deliveries was roughly 30% of our sales
Oh.
pre-ECQ. So medyo malaking chunk na rin siya to begin with. Kasi we had some stores na medyo hindi ganun kalaki yung dine-in. So marami rin kaming deliveries. So now, more of lumaki talaga yung deliveries eh. The bulk now is deliveries eh. It replaced a lot of our dine-in and take-out. We put up the website orderfrankies.com para madali siyang alalahanin. Pero that website is primarily for advanced ordering and pickup. So right now we have Grab Food for our deliveries. We're working on making sure the website can accommodate deliveries na rin. So parang in-house yung dating. No? Kasi yung model natin na ngayon ng pandemic na puro deliveries, I'm sure a lot of restaurants will agree. Hindi pwedeng third-party delivery lang meron mo. Kasi I'm not sure kung nabanggit na ng mga ibang na-interview mo, but third parties, they have commissions. That's how they make money. They have commissions from the restaurants, and it's not that small then. So if kumare say majority ng sales mo mag-range from 50 to 80% of your sales is delivery, masakit kasi ang margins ng restaurants hindi ganun kalaki. So less commission pa nung third party. It's going to be very tough to manage your bottom line. So on our end, we put up the website muna. It's for pickup muna ngayon. Para kuwari customer ako, I live near the Capitolio branch. I order on the website. I pay online. I put there 10:30 a.m. ko siya kukunin. I'll just go there. I'll give my name and my order number. Within a few minutes, ilalabas na ng tao namin. So at least minimal exposure, very convenient, paid for ka na, kukunin mo na lang. Now, the next thing we're working on is having our own in-house delivery. So, para to help our bottom line. Kasi sa in-house namin, syempre, wala kaming third-party commissions. No? So, I think right now as a restaurant, don't rely purely on third parties. So, definitely you need them kasi ang laki ng workforce nila. So mahirap i-match yung capacity ng mga third-party deliveries kasi sobrang dami nilang riders. So definitely you will need them, but it's good to help your bottom line. You need to look into getting your own in-house or kahit partner up with a courier service. Basta yung makabawas ka sa commission. No? That's what we're working on right now. And for dine-in naman, since pwede na mag-dine-in, we just really want to make it as safe as possible for everyone. No? For the customers, then yung mga team members namin, actually, naka-full PPE yung mga team members namin. Eh. As in, medyo mukha silang frontliner. No? Some people have called us OA, pero I don't think you'll call us OA kung 1,000 to 2,000 infections tayo per day now. So the safety of our people is one of our top priorities talaga, if not our top priority, apart from the safety of the customer, of course. So talagang we provide them with eye shields, with the mask, and yun nga, naka-PPE sila. Yung iba naman, kung nahihirapan sila sa PPE, pinapayagan naman namin. As long as they have the mask and the eye shield to protect them, yung aircon, hinihinaan namin ng konti. So dine-in is slowly picking up now. Lumalakas na yung loob ng mga tao, fortunately. I think as long as alam nila, you comply with all the safety protocols. No? The foot bath, the dispensers, And yung aircon nga, hininaan namin para yung flow, if ever man, it's kuwari, meron man may virus, the flow, hindi siya mas madali mag-spread. So, but kami, we prefer, syempre we encourage takeouts. We encourage takeouts sa mga tao for their peace of mind. Yun talaga pinaka-safe sa lahat. No? I think sa 21, they'll be doing 50% dine-in capacity na. But on our end, actually today pala is 21 na. On our end, we'll wait and see na muna. We'll stick to the 30%. Kasi we want to make sure talaga na hindi namin i-overload yung store na baka mamaya maging mas conducive, no, to infection. So we'll do 30% muna. We'll do a wait and see approach. Yeah, so our priorities talaga is really focusing on safety and quality ng food namin. We tell our people, quality talaga has to be extra better pa even now. Kasi a lot of people nag-dwindle na yung purchasing power nila. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people hirap yung businesses nila. So, select na lang yung bibilihan nila for their takeout food, for their delivery, or for their dine-in. So, you gotta make sure na kasama pa rin tayo dun sa list ng brands that people trust. So, focus on your safety and the customer safety. And of course, yung quality ng food. Kasi they have to know na kung nabawasan na yung pera nila, doon nila gagastusin doon sa establishment na alam nila they'll get quality food. So, yeah, talagang marami kaming premium on safety and the online ordering and our presence talaga sa social media, we ramped it up. We used to post only 3 times a week or 4 times a week. Now we're posting more often talaga. Kasi yun nga we need to remind people, lalo na people who are staying at home, na you can have Frankies delivered, pwede ka magpa-takeout, and all our branches are open. Yeah, and you have to make sure that all your details are there. So we make sure sa website namin, sa page namin, yung hours ng each store nakapin sa cover photo, ano yung formats that you can get Frankies. So you have to spoon feed the information as much as possible. Kasi kung ang hirap hanapin, kung huhukayin pa nila yung opening hours mo or kung paano sila makaka-order, they'll just move on to the next brand. So you have to make it very convenient for your customer. Yeah.
Moving on to the next question, do you have any big or future plans for yourself and for Frankies?
Yeah, talagang we have very ambitious plans. Actually, 10th year anniversary namin 2022. So, our plans, sabi namin, by our 10th year sana, lahat ng major areas sa Metro Manila na-cover na namin. Kasi marami pa kaming areas na wala kami. We were supposed to open our 11th branch in Robinsons, Manila this year also. Kasi ang wishlist namin, Pasay, MOA, na-open na namin last almost 2 weeks ago. Then, Robinsons, Manila, dapat Manila area naman. Makati yung sana 2021 namin gagawin or late this year. But again, the pandemic happened. No? So, no matter what size of your company, big or small, for sure, affected ka talaga. So, kami, I don't know what to call us. For me, I consider us an SME pa rin. But some people have told me na, medyo, hindi ka na ganun ka-small ganyan. But syempre kami, mindset pa rin namin na we were in SME, 10 branches pa lang naman kami, no? But anyway, yeah, dapat may Robinsons Manila rin kami, but we've had to delay a lot of our projects, no? So we were supposed to come up with our first ghost kitchen this year. So nakita na namin kasi we were attending these seminars and everyone all over the world was saying yung food delivery business is gonna grow. It's gonna grow bigger. In the next 5 years, it's expected to grow 25% pa raw. As it is, ang laki na ng food delivery segment namin. So, sabi namin, and nakikita namin sa sales kasi nakikita namin, palaki yung chunk ng delivery. So, since may demand na for our product, we decided na we were gonna open our first ghost kitchen. Wala kaming dining. It's just gonna be a kitchen, a huge kitchen na puro fryers, accommodating food delivery. So that was in the pipeline for this year as well. But again, nangyari yung pandemic, so we had to make adjustments. Baka next year na namin gawin yun. Then yung Robinsons Manila, dinelay na rin namin. Kasi ang laki ng losses namin eh. Ang laki ng losses namin from ECQ. 1 month coming closed. We resumed April 16. And even then, April, May, we opened our branches bit by bit eh. Hindi naman namin sabay-sabay in-open. And even the sales are like, sales are maybe around 60% of what they used to be. So we've had to make lots of adjustments. For sure, may mga plans kami na made-delay by at least a year, maybe more. But the goal pa rin is sana by the 10th or 11th year ng 2022 or 2023, tapos na kami sa Metro Manila. Pretty much na-cover na namin lahat. Then, we'll try to go, alam kasi namin ang market namin urban pa rin eh. It's always gonna be an urban market. So, we're gonna try maybe looking at New Valley area, who knows, Baguio City. Yung mga Luzon-based pa rin na cities, no? So, and of course, hopefully by 2025, all over the country, no? All over the country. So we want to make sure na yung gift para sa amin yung gift ng Frankies, sinasabi namin. Let's take it to other people sa other parts ng country, no? So for sure, yeah, it's really having more presence all around and continuing to improve din yung internal namin na systems kasi I'd like to think we have good service but di pa rin ganun ka-consistent eh. We have our complaints every now and then from customers. So we want to continue working on that. We want to continue building yung internal culture namin and improving the brand pa and maybe adding other products, like maybe adding other parts ng chicken. Kasi our chicken is, we're proud sa size ng chicken namin. And mga suppliers namin minsan nagreklamo na kasi hirap sila sa specs. Kasi kailangan nga malaki. So most of namin sa commissary, pag under spec yan, reject. So talagang like kaming hand in hand nag-work with the supplier to make sure na okay, this is how you can minimize your rejections. Pasok natin sa ganitong specs yung ibibigay nyo or yung isusort nyo. No? So that's another challenge for us, the supply. Malaki yung demand, but supply is a challenge. So we have to make sure na whatever happens, kung minsan kulangan kami ng big wings, maybe we can have other parts that we can offer as alternatives to people para hindi sila ma-disappoint na walang wings or yung small wings lang yung available. So we actually introduced the junior wings. Dati wala kaming junior wings. So we had to introduce the small lineup. Kasi pag naubusan ng malaki, at least whatever happens, kung pumunta ka sa Frankies, you won't be disappointed na I have an option to pay a cheaper price for smaller variant, but the same taste. So yeah, it's really expanding pa what we can offer to people and expanding our presence all over the country. So by 2025, hopefully, we'll have a number of provincial branches where we know we have a market and we can makilala pa kami dun sa parts of the country. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So from that pa lang, ang dami kong nakuha. First is you really try to have this kind of beginner mindset. So of course, people are saying na you are a big company na, but you still have this kind of mindset to think na, ayun, 10 branches pa lang, we have a long way to go. So, and another thing I noticed na you really, really listen to feedback when it comes to your customers. Diba? So, how do you determine ano yung magandang feedback? What's the right kind of feedback that you have to listen to? Or mga feedback na you just have to brush off and
okay, yeah. Actually, I think most importantly is you have to know who you are. You have to know kung ano yung core mo, yung core ng company mo, ng brand mo. So kami, we have our core values. We have our core values, then we have our mission and vision. And if you go to the back end ng kada store, sa kitchen, sa manager's office or sa headquarters namin, sobrang dami namin nakapaskil na yung vision and mission namin, yung core values namin, what we're about. And then even each department, they have their own vision and mission, but it's patterned after our general vision and mission. No? So we really know who we are. So siguro kung may mga feedback, and it's not gonna end eh. Laging may mga taong may opinion eh. Hindi mawawala yun. No? So whether it's the people who are close to you or customers, no, we have a customer feedback form, and hindi siya formality. It's really something we read. As in, I sit in sa mga branch meetings, and the branch management team, they really pag may nakita silang kakaibang comment or good point, talagang fina-flash nila yun sa screen, and then we also talk about it, and we discuss it. A lot of people are looking for this. Sige, maybe it's something we can look into. But then again, maraming comments na parang ridiculous eh. Ba't di kayo magganito? Ba't di kayo magganyan? Parang, but then again, you know who you are eh. We know what you're about. You know how you want to make people feel. So, that's how you can decipher kung absorb ko ba tong comment na to? Is this something I'll look into? Or is this something I should just shrug off or wag ko muna pansinin? No? So, if hindi mo masyadong kilala kung sino ka or yung brand mo or yung company mo, tendency malilito ka. Kasi sobrang daming input na nanggagaling from everywhere. So that's a difficult part. So when you're starting a company, I really think, late ko na rin ginawa ito eh, but I'm glad na nahabol namin. No? I really think it's important that you have the vision and mission and the core values in place. Dapat upuan mo talaga yon, and dapat it's something that your team has to be involved in. Ilang days namin ginawa yon when we were brainstorming the vision and mission and the core values of the company. So talagang and we had to require each member of the company to memorize it. Tapos sa mga wallet nila, meron silang meta card. May meta card sila. Then randomly, pag may mga meetings, nagpapatawag yan. So, kailangan by heart, alam mo siya. Then papa-interpret sa'yo, ano ba yung meaning, etc. So, yun, it's really, sabi nga nung namin, TMD manager namin si Makoy, dapat, pag nasugatan ka, parang you bleed Frankies, ganun. So, yun talaga, you have to know who you are. But at the same time, don't be too arrogant to say na we've already gone this far, and dami na namin nagawa. Kasi there's always something you can improve. And kung galing sa outsider yung point of view na yun, maybe it might work for you. Lalo na kung yun yung customer base mo and all your customers are saying these things, maybe it's something that you should really consider. No? So I guess, knowing who you are, but at the same time being humble enough to know that or admit that a lot of things could be better, and that being open to feedback. Yeah, so I think it's just a balance talaga. But first, you have to know who you are. Yeah.
All right. So you really have to know your identity, and you have to have a strong sense of identity na talagang nakaano sa core values ng company.
Yeah.
What happens if somebody in your meeting does not know the core value? Or
usually inuupuan na yun ng head niya, no? So pride na kasi ng story na pride nila yun na when may pinatawag sila, alam eh. So it's not like people are rooting for him to fail. Parang when pinatayo siya, people are really rooting for that person na makuha niya eh. Kasi pride nila yun as their branch na when kami top management, we go there, we visit. Pride nila na kabisado talaga nila word for word yung mga values namin. Yeah.
All right. So of course we want to be respectful of your time. A few more questions before we end. Do you have any particular failure that you've experienced for Frankies that really taught you a lot of lessons?
Okay. Pwede bang before Frankies siguro,
Yeah.
which actually which led to Frankies, no? Siguro when it comes to sa F&B industry particularly, yeah, siguro lalo na kung post-pandemic. When it comes to location, if you're going to be in the business na may consumers ka, no, you have to be very, very meticulous about the location. Kasi it's not enough na sabihin mo, maraming tao dito eh. Alam mo yun? Maraming tao dito, matatry nila yung product ko, marami akong customers dito. Is the foot traffic your market? That's the number one thing you have to identify muna. Sino ba yung tingin kong market ko? Kailangan grounded ka eh. Kasi I know some people medyo hindi pa ganun ka-grounded yung perception nila of their market. They think that their market is the same as their view eh. Which is not the case eh. You always have to consider ano ba yung tingin ng market. And itong place ba porque maraming tao? Yung maraming tao ba niyan? Are those people my market? Is this location strategic enough? Is it convenient enough for people to visit? So that's one of the things, no? Location is probably one of the more important lessons that I've learned from past failures. And prior to Frankie's, apart from yung unang nag-fail na business namin nila Kevin, I had a few failed ventures apart from that, or maybe two more, two or three more. I was negative in hundreds of thousands when we started Frankie's. I had to borrow capital from my sister and my dad to put up the first branch of Frankie's. So I know it's been tough. Umabot na ako sa point na I had emptied out all my accounts and I had 70 pesos in my wallet left.
Wow.
And I had nothing else left. And sabi ko nga, oh my God, wala na to. Wala na. So siguro nung days na yon, kung hindi ako nakatira with my parents, I'd probably be a homeless guy or something. It really got to that point. No? So yeah, but you have to look back at your failures talaga and examine them eh. Kung what went wrong eh. You can't take too long sulking. You can sulk for a while, but you have to absorb kung ano ba yung naging mali mo dun sa nangyari. So yun nga, parang I justified yung mga first business ko na maraming tao dito, I'll open up a branch here. Or inisip ko, porque ganun ako mag-isip yung market. And tinipid ko yung manpower dun sa isang business. Nakatipid ko ng manpower, the service really suffered. And so even though I had a loyal customer base, may mga na-turn off kasi our service was slow because I was so hesitant to add manpower expense na hindi ko naisip na sa katipid mo, you are actually denying your customers a better experience. Which I learned when Frankies was doing better. I immediately got more people and I did the math. Okay, I can afford to pay a supervisor. So I interviewed people. I got Lane, who is now our operations manager. So you have to realize that you can't do everything yourself. And I think mali yun ng maraming entrepreneurs na for the longest time they try to do things themselves. So you have to learn to admit that. And you have to adjust quickly. You have to adapt quickly. Hindi ka pwedeng masyadong close-minded. No? So you really have to be open-minded and get rid of the excuses. Kasi there's always going to be a convenient excuse for why hindi ka nag-adapt or bakit hindi mo tinry sustain yung business mo or why I can't take it to the next level. Lagi naman may convenient excuse eh. So you really have to always have your goal in mind, regardless of the failures. As long as you have a set goal in mind, whatever happens, you're going to find a way. You're always going to find a way. So yeah, yun siguro location and alamin mo kung ano yung objective mo eh. Ano ba yung best for your customer, best for your business. Don't always be afraid na, oh no, baka hindi ko ma-afford itong taong to. Baka if I do this, baka masyado ng expensive yung payroll nga, masyado ng malaki yung expenses ng company. So, you have to take a gamble every now and then. So, don't be too safe. And I think lalo na kung position ko nung time na start namin yung Frankies, kung back against the wall ka na, you're gonna be more daring eh. Kasi, what have you got to lose eh? Kasi, you've lost a lot already eh. So, why stop there, you know? So, ano lang, yeah, yun siguro yung masasabi ko with regards to yung mga naging failure. Not having enough sales and not looking at the bigger picture. Yeah.
Wow. All right. I'm glad na I asked that question. We got so much from that response, and wow. So ang dami mo palang pinagdaanan na businesses before Frankie started.
Yeah, yeah.
You like reading books, Ed?
Nung una hindi. I hated books. As in, siguro up until after college, buong buhay ko siguro yung books na binasa ko na hindi kailangan sa school, probably 5 lang, my whole lifetime. But during the hard times, I would watch motivational videos. No, apart from The Secret, which I'm sure you're familiar with, the Law of Attraction. Apart from that, I would watch these motivational speakers. If you've heard of them, or maybe I'm sure you've heard of them, Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, Eric Thomas. So these people, they all said one thing in common, which is to read. And all the successful people, ang one thing in common nila is they like to read. So nung nalaman ko, sabi ko, if I wanna follow in their footsteps, if I wanna sustain, or if I wanna take it to the next level, I'm gonna have to learn how to read. And I forced myself. And now I can proudly say I finished in the last 3 years I finished, I think, 12, 15 books, which is more than my first 20 plus years of life. I don't regret because I'm learning so much. I just finished Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And actually, gift ko rin sa mga employees namin yon and sa siblings ko. Then I'm about to finish Built to Last naman by Jim Collins. I also finished this other book, yung Good to Great. Then 7 Habits is also a very nice book. So I think a lot of people know about it. So yeah, yes, now I do love to read. Dati talaga, for the most of my adult life, I hated it kasi walang pictures eh. Gusto ko movie na lang eh. Movie adaptation na lang papanoorin ko dati. But now, yeah, sobrang I love reading. It's really it really takes away all the stress and it re-energizes you and gives you more ideas. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Ba't mo natanong yung if I like to read? Kita ko parang marami kang books dyan
well, of course, yun din kasi yung something that I try to, or something na naririnig ko from a lot of people, na a lot of successful people read books, na parang yun yung common thing sa kanila. So of course, when I interview mga successful people as well, I'd like to know if people who are successful in business dito sa Pilipinas, do they also read books? And yun nga, for every guest, tinatanong ko siya. Pero surprisingly, hindi lahat book reader. So if you look at Joe Mag, like super successful potato corner, global company, hindi siya mahilig magbasa ng books. So doon ako, parang iba-iba talaga yung pinagkakakuunan ng learning ng mga tao. So, but I think, of course, books is a good multiplier if you really want to learn.
Correct. I agree.
If you had to choose one, what's the book that you can retain or you can give? So you mentioned yung kay Napoleon Hill. Would that be a good recommendation na you would give to anyone?
Yeah, I think to start, depende kung nasaan point ka na eh. I think if to start a business or if you're at a point na medyo down ka, and honestly, even lahat naman tayo now, we're having a hard time. Even kami, I mean, kahit medyo established na kami at this point, we're also having our own challenges as a company. And I think you always have to start with mindset. So Think and Grow Rich is good
Mm.
for that. Lalo na if you're looking to improve your mindset or if you're looking to start your own business. Anything related to new thought, yun nga, yung law of attraction, yung The Secret, pwedeng yung book, pwedeng yung video. It's also very helpful. Uh, ano pa ba? I also had this book, si Esther Hicks, Ask and You Shall Receive. I think yun yung title. I'll check back on that. So, kung initial mo, I think you focus on the mindset muna.
Mm.
So, storage is a good place to start for mindset. But once you're actually running a company na and the business is up and running, I think magandang books din yung na-mention ko, no? Yung kay Jim Collins, yung Good to Great. Kasi it will really give you an idea of how you can take your company to the next level. So actually, I love the book so much. Ginawa namin theme namin for our 10th year anniversary, our programs from here onward hanggang 10th year anniversary. Ang theme namin actually is good to great. Yun yung theme namin kasi we want to make the company great over the next few years. Kasi we think we're good, but we don't think we're great yet. Eh. So that's what we want to be. So, yun yung theme namin ngayon. So, siguro pag nasa gitnang process ka na or na-start mo na, that could be a good book, yung Good to Great. Sa mga core, sa mindset, 7 Habits is also very nice. Yung wife ko nag-recommend sa akin yung 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Kasama rin yun sa core na I think you should start with muna on how you can develop that proper mindset. Kasi without the mindset, kahit gano'n ka kagaling, gano'n ka technically competent or academically competent, or gano'n ka kasipag, if you don't have the right mindset, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna get burnt out. That's why you really have to have the proper ano muna, the proper tools in terms of how you're supposed to think. So I think dun ka muna mag-start, then you go with the business and more technical side, the books as you go along. Oo, that's my personal opinion. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that
Daldal ko, no?
information. Hindi
Yeah.
naman. Thank you so much. Maraming nakukuhang value yung viewers namin. So, of course, we're approaching the last question. And thank you very much. Sobrang daming natutunan today from you. Do you have any final message or advice to all the entrepreneurs or all of those who want to start their own business?
Siguro sit down muna. And nga, again, work on your mindset first. So once you think na medyo may grasp ka na of how you should think, then from there you can start going to the drawing board na of what you're gonna do. And even when you conceptualize something, it doesn't always have to be yung pinakabago or cutting edge. Kasi some people have that perception na if I'm gonna put up a business, kailangan yung wala pa sa market. Kailangan yung ako yung first. No? So it works for some, I think. But in our case, kasi what we did is establish product na yun yung buffalo wings. Like, marami ng buffalo wings ng time na yun eh. We were one of the first, pero may mga nauna sa amin. But that didn't stop us kasi we found a way to do it better in our opinion. So we found a way to do it better, or we looked at the things that we saw wasn't in the market at the time, and we tried to fill that gap. And I think that's where the customers responded to us. Kasi yung hinahanap nila, na hindi nila alam na gusto pala nila, nakita nila sa amin. So you can always go with a product na meron na, but find ways lang siguro to market it differently or to add a dimension that the existing market doesn't have. So don't always feel the pressure that you have to come up with something cutting edge or new. Look for something that's already working in the market. Lalo na kung limited capital ka. Ang hirap kasi kung limited capital ka na if you fail, wala na eh. Ang hirap bumangon ulit if you fail. So you can try to work with something that you feel is in demand, and kahit may mga competitors na, go for it. If you know you can bring something new to the market, then why don't you give it a shot, no? So, yun. And wag matakot, wag matakot. Like ako personally, ako lang my partners are smart people. Ako, I don't consider myself as a smart guy. I just consider myself as siguro masipag and willing to learn. Yun siguro. So don't be afraid and wag mo maliitin yung sarili mo. So it all starts with your goals muna. Set goals and be ambitious. Don't shortchange yourself. Yun nga, marami naman dyan matalino, but yun nga, they shortchange themselves. No? So that was what I used to do. No? So when I realized na anyone could do it, I started setting higher and higher goals. Na yun nga, minsan pag tinitingnan ko yung goals ko, medyo nakakatakot tignan. Pero at the same time, it makes you feel alive eh. Pag nakikita mo na, oh my God, kaya ko ba to? But at the same time, yung challenge eh. No? So challenge yourself, huwag ka matakot. Capital, you can always find it. You can always find it. There's a way. There's a way to find it. But yung youth mo or yung time mo, you can never get it back eh. No? Not to say naman hindi ka pwede mag-start later on. But ganda rin yan. Ganda to start young. Ganda to start young. Kasi you learn so many things along the way eh. The sooner you learn. So I'm 33 now, but I'm glad I started when I was 23. So or in your age. So I'm glad na, and I tell my friends who taught me how to start a business or to do business. I really thank them. Kasi sabi ko nga, hindi dahil sa inyo, ganyan, I wouldn't have gone into this. No? So yeah, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid kasi anyone can do it. And I'm sure yung mga other guests mo, yung mga other people na in-interview mo, likewise, hindi naman nila, si Jomag, nabasa ko yung story niya sa isang magazine eh. So, nakita ko rin yung beginnings niya. So, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. So, just dream, be ambitious, and do everything you can to get there. Yeah. So, yun siguro. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it naman. Yeah.
Alright. Sobrang salamat, Ed. Thank you so much. Ang dami naming value na nakuha from you. And thank you for spending the time here. I know you're a very, very busy person. So before we end, would you like to share anything sa audience? Where can they find your products? Where can they order Frankies? Or any links that you would like them to check out?
Right now, all 10 of our branches are open, no? They're all open for dine-in except for UP Town Center kasi medyo tight lang yung layout namin doon, no? We're still fixing it up para mas maging conducive for dine-in, no? But apart from our UP Town Center branch, all branches are open for dine-in and all 10 branches have walk-in take-out. And if ayaw nyo ng mag-wait ng matagal, you can go to orderfrankies.com. Although, one day ahead siya right now. We're still fixing it. One day ahead siya right now. So you can set your date. You can set the time if you want to pick it up. If you want to pick it up nga sa driveway, pwede rin. Just give our branch a call pag malapit ka na or malapit na yung rider mo. Sometimes kasi they get riders eh. So we can just give it to you sa driveway or sa storefront para minimal na yung exposure mo. No? So orderfrankies.com, it's very easy to remember. Okay, so do visit that, do visit our ordering website. No? But again, pwede kayo mag-walk-in, take-out, pwede kayo mag-walk-in, dine-in. Our people are wearing full PPE naman and naka 30% pa kami now. So naka-social distancing naman yung mga tables and chairs namin, and we have all the tools that you need to ensure you're safe. No? So yeah, I hope that people will continue to patronize our products during this GCQ. No? And yeah, we'll always make adjustments to ensure na safe lahat, no? Safe yung customers and safe yung mga employees. Yeah.
Alright, maraming salamat. So guys, definitely check that out. I can vouch for Frankies is really the best wings that I have tasted in the Philippines. So check that out, guys. Maraming salamat, Ed, for...
sorry, add ko lang Tsaka for
Go.
delivery pala, yeah. You can, right now you can find us on GrabFood. Yeah.
Yun. Alright.
Yun.
So, mamaya for dinner, guys, alam na, Frankies. Thank you so much, Ed. Sobrang daming natutunan from you. Thank you for spending the time here. Thank you. Alright, so that's it for this episode, guys. Maraming salamat for tuning in. Sana marami kayong value na nakuha and sana nag-enjoy kayo from this episode. If meron kayong suggestions, comments, feedback, if you want me to ask a specific question in the future, or if you want a certain person to be in this podcast, please let me know in the comments below. So if you liked it, if may natutunan kayo, please share it with your friends, share it to those who you think are interested with business, those who want to start their own business. And if you want to learn how to invest in the stock market, go to investalearn.com. That's it, mga ka-Investa. Paalam.